live before you bring me on.
Oh, I already live, my man. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Current Situation Media. We are live streaming here on the YouTube page and the Current Situation Media page. I'm here with my co-host, Mr. I Love You, and we're rocking with some Laverne music right here. And go ahead and share this. We're going to be starting in the next 5 to 7 minutes. We live here on the Current Situation Media page. We also have to now on Current Situation.
Yeah, Jerry,
Go ahead.
I don't know how true it is, but I heard this from other people before about some issue with copyrights when you're going live on some of these official pages and you play music in the background. I don't know how realistic it is, but
Well, not Laverne music because you can also make a put a post that the music playing you do not have copyright to it, right? All right, let me do some sharing here. But thank you for coming on.
Bobby baby.
So when we bringing King Karo on,
So breaking Carol down.
hello?
Yeah.
I said when we bringing King Karo on.
If I said to break her down, I mean we can definitely take our time and reach out.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are live. Please tune in here.
The situation is current.
This is a rerun here. We had a discussion last week here. Please join us here. We are live on the Current Situation Media page. Let's continue to share this here. Join us here as we live here to discuss this reality topic, real life topic that some people are hesitant to talk about. You know, this occur in relationship, and it's a very, very important, essential topic. So join us here, and let's fire up. What's up, Mister? I love you. I like your hat.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm good. We're gearing up for the Valentine's weekend. You know, somebody was asking me if Kevin Situation Media will be giving anything special out to loved ones. You know, on that Valentine weekend, that Wednesday before Valentine's Day. So, but we're gearing up for the Valentine's weekend, and we're looking forward to all the big surprises.
Yep. All right. So I'm gonna resend it. Send the page here to our co-host, our panelists. They should be coming on very shortly. So are you gearing up for the Valentine in your state?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to Current Situation Media. We're having a very important discussion. Join the discussion. And if you do want to come on here, let us know here. We'll send you the link. We are live streaming here using the StreamYard app, and also we are live streaming on from YouTube page as well. We're supposed to have a special guest tonight. Mina should be coming on here. I'm about to say her the name. She's very interested in the topic. Join the discussion here. So tonight we're going to be discussing something very important. It's sensitive, but
what's up, party people? This is your favorite boy.
But it's also something that is reality, something that is in real life here, and a lot of couples, struggle with it in a relationship. People are sometimes hesitant to talk about it, but we will be discussing here who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship or in a marriage. Is it the man, the woman, or both partners have equal rights? So this is what we're going to be discussing tonight. We discussed this topic last week. A lot of folks did not tune in here. Some tuned in very late, and so they asked us to rerun this program here and talk about this and discuss this particular topic. So tonight I will be joined by a panelist. Some are coming in late here. Mr. I Love You, Vince, they all will be joining us tonight here. And we also going to have some guest panelists here joining us. So please tune in, share this here. And we are still rocking here with some LRB music. So we'll be starting within the next 5-7 minutes here. And we're going to dive into this discussion. Okay? So we are rocking with some LRB music in the background. But welcome to Current Situation Media. All right, go ahead and join us here, share this page. And this is a new page. It's still growing. But we are doing all our live here from this page going forward. We mentioned that at the beginning of the year that will be live streaming for this page here. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Current Situation Media. I share this here. Our notification is on here. So tonight we're going to be discussing who is responsible. Who is responsible to also initiate sexual activity in your relationship. So if you come on here as one of the panelists, we'll ask you that direct question. You should be, honest to answer. So who is responsible here? Is it the man, the woman, or both partners have equal rights? So we dived into this last week, and it was so interesting. So we are back tonight, and every Wednesday is ladies' night and hot relationship topic every Wednesday. So if you have a topic of interest that you want to air, you want to discuss publicly, go ahead, send us that topic. We're going to review it. We're going to drop it into our chat group, and it will be discussed. It's Wednesday. So Wednesday is fun. Wednesday is ladies' night. So I have sent the link here to most of my panelists, almost everyone that's supposed to be on tonight. So they should be joining us tonight here. So go ahead, share this here as we play some music in the background. So we should be starting here by 9-10 in the next 3 minutes here.
What's up, party people? This is your favorite boy, Jay Slug, and you are listening to latest LRB music with the one and only DJ OC. So keep listening and don't skip.
All right, folks. Let's get going. Let's get going here. Share this here. So they're going to be 2 hours here. We're going to be here until 11. All right? We're going to be on here until 11 here. So feel free to share this. And join the discussion. If you want to come on here, like I said, if you do want to come on here, just let me know. I do have the link here And please continue to share this here. So tonight we need some participation. We need participants from females. Last week, we discussed most of the female wanted to come on here, but unfortunately they didn't watch the show here, so we decided to rerun this topic here. So feel free to come on here, share the link here. We are live on the Current Situation Media page here, and yeah, so we're anticipating you guys to come and join the discussion. Okay, so join the discussion. Let's go, and we will be discussing, talking about who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship. Is it the man, the woman, or both? Partners have equal rights. And if you are in a relationship, who you think you should initiate sex in a relationship? This is a relationship topic here. So we do this every Wednesday. So every Wednesday we come on here with some guests, and they come here and we dive into these topics here. It's very important. It's worth learning. So on this show here, remember now we operate on a triple constraint where we interact, we entertain, and we inform. So we've been very informative here. In the last week, so people took away good lessons from this topic here. So, as you all know, in relationship, partners, are sometimes skeptical, and partners are sometimes, not ashamed to initiate sex. And sometimes partners are a little bit, shy, or, they want privacy, but this is a very, very, very important topic here. So in a relationship, who is responsible? Is it the man or the woman? So as soon as Mr. I Love You gets back here, we going to fire up here, and I'm going to give my perspective of it here, like I did last week, and I'm going to also give some examples. All right. So go ahead, share this here. This is going to be a very, very 2 hours discussion here, and we're anticipating folks to come on and join us and join this discussion. All right. We have also sent the link to some of our panelists. So if you want to come on here, feel free. We will send you the link, and you can come on and and join the discussion. All right. So this is our second time discussing this topic here because of the importance of it. And that way you can take away something and you can add to the discussion. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, join the discussion here as we play some Liberian music here in the background. Is 9:11. We should be starting anytime. Anytime we should fire up here on this very, very important topic here. So let me go ahead and play music for maybe 5 more minutes here. Wait for one of my partners to come on here and we can fire up. But happy Wednesday. It's ladies' night. We do this every Wednesday, all right? Happy Wednesday, ladies' night, all right? Feel free to come and join the discussion. And let's discuss. It's Ladies Night Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Hope you and your family, everyone doing fine. Some of you are at work right now, and you are in your comfort zone and watching the show. Feel free to share and comment, and because we are here every Wednesday. So every Wednesday we come and discuss relationship topics. If you do have topic that you want us to discuss publicly, feel free to, send in my inbox or Mr. I Love You or any of the panelists. So tonight is going to just be a fun night. It's going to be a fun night. We're going to read comments. We're going to be reading comments, and also we going to be having this discussion. We're going to be throwing questions at some of our panelists. And so, ladies and gentlemen, all we want you to do is just continue to share this live here, and we will give star here to Mr. I Love You. He keep telling you guys to share this. So share this. Come on and let's opine. Let's discuss who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship. Don't be shy, and do not hesitate to come and weigh in on this. All right, your views matter. All right, your participation matter. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are about to start is 9:13. So we'll be starting in the next 2 minutes, and I'm gonna go first. Then from there, Mr. I Love You, as we are joined by our other panelists, we will go ahead and hear from them. So, ladies and gentlemen, here, Mr. I Love You here. He is back here. So, Mr. I Love You, how are you, brother?
I'm doing good.
Okay. Most of the time you are on and you are at work, but today you are at home, which is good. So that way you can be relaxed and you can be, listening to your supervisor because your supervisor will be trying to tell you, say, "Hey, break is over." So, ladies and gentlemen, as you say, share this here. Mr. I Love You is zipping on his red cup, and I'm zipping my bottle tonight. All my wine is finished. So, we started this topic last week, and folks asked us to rerun and this discussion. So we decided to dive into this tonight. So we're gonna be on until 11 p.m. Right now is 9:14 and p.m. Central Time here. So who is responsible? I will ask this question directly to you. Who is responsible to initiate a sexual activity in your relationship if you are in one?
First and foremost, I'd like to take this time to say thank you so much for having me on here tonight.
Yeah.
I do appreciate it. It is Ladies' Night, Wednesday midweek. It's called the Humper Day, and it's a beautiful day. For those of you in the Midwest, we can tell it's a pretty fair sunny season right now for a short, brief moment. The snow kind of slowed down a little bit. You're getting bright sunshine here and there. It seems like it's melting and whatnot. But above all, we want to say thank you all so much for joining us Wednesday night. It's right here, Kevin Situation, the platform where we discuss relationship. We do our very best to inform you about things concerning relationship that you don't know about and make sure we can educate you. The success of your relationship at the end of the day is our definite wish. Topic on the discussion is no other topic but who is responsible to initiate sex within a relationship? Is it a man or the woman? I'm here with the CEO, the big boss himself. He is here, and we are working together tonight. We'll be having other co hosts that will be joining us later on tonight to
All
keep
right.
the ball off the ground.
Yep.
But just as you asked me the question, um, and I think for me personally, I think it is both parties' responsibility to initiate sex.
Are you speaking from your relationship, your experience, or you are generalizing?
As of now, I'm generalizing it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, but I do think it's the responsibility of both parties to initiate it because it's one of those things that I won't be able to tell when my partner need that, and my partner won't be able to tell when I need it. So
Are you kidding me? So your partner cannot tell from cues? Cannot
no,
tell?
no, no. But without giving clues, like you can be sitting and assume that they need it. So it is their responsibility. It's almost like I don't know when you test it, you need water. You gotta say it. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's both part of responsibility to initiate it.
So you feel that it's both party. So when you say both party here is so both party have the equal rights.
Equal right.
Oh, okay. Well, let me come in here, and I'm going to be very vivid in my deliberation here. This is a very important topic here. Is worth listening to. Is worth for discussing all the time here, and it is good that this is our second time, having the discussion here. So, uh, to answer that question here, I would say it depends on which partner have a higher sex drive. Because sometimes you fall in a relationship, one partner do not have a sex drive, but they are receptive to, respond to the stimulant. All right. So it depends on which partner, have a higher sex drive. I would say for now, for me, I will go back to my previous relationship. In my previous relationship, the female had a higher sex drive, so she usually initiated it, you know, and I got
But
used to it.
equally so, before you can go any further, as much as she had a higher sex drive, she always initiated it. It's fair enough, but it still don't mean that every time she started it, there was definitely moments where you needed it, and maybe during those moments she just had not started it yet. So you still have that need to start it during those times when you needed it, and she may have not just started things yet.
Well,
For
well,
for
now,
go ahead.
yeah, now in my current relationship, now it is initiated by me. And statistically, looking at survey, it is usually initiated by the man, 68%, then 63% by the woman. And I do agree with you when you say each partner have the equal right. So that's where it comes in. When each partner have the equal right, that's where it comes in who have the higher sex drive. Because if the woman have the higher sex drive, they will be the one initiating it, and the man will be receptive to it. If the man have the higher sex drive, the woman will be receptive. You know, but but what I read, study have shown that you know 68% of the men initiate it, because when they are the husband, the woman is always receptive to it because they feel that, okay, this is the husband. He always, you know, want to pretty much start something. And as if you're in a relationship, some people, even if they are not in the mood, they do not turn a partner down because it's all part of the relationship. Relationship is like a contract. You guys are in a little contract. Sex plays a very important role. So you should always be receptive to your partner when your partners initiate it. So, but like I was saying that my previous relationship years and years ago, you know, the first one was with a female, a white female. She usually initiate that. Maybe got used to that. The second one was with an African American, which is we have 3 kids now, and always initiate that, make me go used to that because they had a very high sex drive. They are considered a nymphomaniac. Nymphomaniac are people who pretty much always want to be sexually active. So in order to keep up with those people, you have to be on a level. If you don't be on a level, they will say that you are cheating on them, and you are saying someone because it's just like if your woman want to have sex with you and you just keep like, oh, I'm tired, even though she, you try to, make her happy, but if you keep resisting, what next? She's gonna say, oh, you are saying someone. Oh, am I not attracted to you again? Oh, are you tired with this?
And
Yes.
you keep laying emphasis on partners who have high sex drive, and my main concern here is, say for example, if you know me to be the guy of euphemism, so I'm gonna dive into it. Say for example, if I know my woman like cooking, right?
Right.
The fact that she like cooking and she's always feeding me, there is still a chance that there might be a day where I'm hungry and she didn't bring me food. So I will still have to ask.
Yes.
You get my point. So
Yep.
as much as you have those situations where they are of the high sex drive this and that, there will still be those moments where they might not start it, but you need it. So at that point, what do? You definitely gonna have to start it at that point.
Yes, and you are right on that here, and that's where the both partners are plays in, where sometimes both partners are responsible or both partner pretty have the equal rights, because like the example you just made, if she always initiating it, sometimes you take the term, is vice versa, but we are talking about who most of the time initiate it, and also that partner is also receptive. But like I said, study have shown that men is always initiating it, and sometimes they always asking for it. But the question, well, one of the follow-up question, should you ask for it? Should men ask for it to the wife, or they should just tell honey, or they should just be able to perform something where she will get the signal and they will start that thing.
Um, I feel like if you find yourself in a relationship, you shouldn't be asking for it.
Yep.
because both of you have been around each other for so long. You should be able to come to a common ground, to a point where you understand each other so much, where certain body language and certain things should be able to give you clue and let you know what's going on.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you have questions here, if you want to add on to this discussion, feel free to comment here. Go ahead, continue to share this here, and we are discussing who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship. Is it the man, the woman, or both partners have equal rights? And if you give your answer, you can also give a little explanation. And let's put it this way here, Mister. I love you. Nowadays, let's put it in a let's switch it back to our culture a little bit. Even though we are generalizing here, but let's leave the Western culture, because if we come to the Western culture, we know that majority of the time, you know, they both have equal rights. Sometimes the female usually take the lead. But let's come to the Liberian culture, the African culture here. In the African culture, who how does that work out? And who usually initiate it in the African culture?
Well, in the African culture, based on how the traditions unfold itself, it has given a clear illustration that it is the full responsibility and duty of the man to initiate sex.
Yeah, it is the full responsibility of the man. And how does the female respond to that most of the time? Because I see a lot of African men, including myself, we have complaints sometimes that when we are in the mood, our woman, our females or our women, they are not in the mood. Or even if you try to put in the mood, they say, oh, wait, you like sex too much. But I mean, sex plays a very key role in a relationship. It's supposed to be, it keep the relationship active. Because sex leads to intimacy. It leads to deeper love. But when you resist someone all the time, you're in a relationship. Sometimes it brings about, infidelity. Sometimes it bring about, adultery. It bring about, cheating on your spouse, because that person is not receptive to your sexual mood.
Right. I mean, you have a key point over there. There are times where it bring about issues if the other partner is not responding in a timely manner and whatnot. But at the end of the day, communication is the key in there. Is a key factor. Communication. You both have to be able to communicate things out and have understanding and know exactly what's going on.
Have you ever been turned down before?
Oh yeah, a lot of time.
But what I mean turned down is not just turned down by someone that you're not in a relationship, someone that you're in a intimate relationship with, where
Yeah,
you make a sexual advance and you say no, not this time.
yeah. The typical African women excuse.
Then what do
Let-
you do next?
The typical African women excuse. Let me finish cooking first. Like, wait, what? Finish cooking before what? Turn the stove off.
Let's wait for the weekend. Let's wait. When the kids are
No,
not.
no, no, no. Waiting for the weekend, but then that noise won't bring it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a long time. And we're talking about it, but on a serious note, some of our sisters don't know the implication of some of these things they do, because there are some of the brothers who will not argue with you. They won't say much when you deny them access, but the repercussion behind that is very devastating.
Yes, so yeah, you are absolutely right. As especially when it happens more often. More often where you make those sexual advances and your partner always have an excuse. And like you said, it's the repercussion. And sometimes it can lead to separation. Sometimes lead to cheating on each other. Because in a relationship you have to meet each other in the middle. You have to make your partner feel happy. Especially to keep that relationship enjoyable. It's not.
And even with the exception of it leading to cheating. Sometimes it quench one partner's sexual appetite in a relationship to the point where they don't even have the desire to ask you anymore. They feel like they're going to get turned down again.
Yes, yes. That's where, like I said, that's where other things arise from. That's where sometimes you feel that the relationship is not healthy. Because based on the response from your partner, and you be like, okay, I'm trying to look somewhere now, somewhere where I can be happy. And people should consider that, because these little things make relationship unhealthy. So if you want for a relationship to be very healthy, you know keep the communication going, but know your partner's sex drive. Know your partner's sex drive, and know when that your partner is pretty much in the mood, and you should be very receptive to that here. Because it plays a key role. Just as when you're in a mood, and your partner should be receptive to you. So both partners have the equal rights. Both partners have the equal rights. I know sometimes, if you're not in the mood, but your partner have the responsibility to put you in the mood. Because sometimes, most women, they want to be in the mood before they, become engaged in sex. And even vice versa, sometimes most men want to be in the mood. Something should attract them before they engage into sex. You
But
know,
a lot of our African sisters, some of them have this mindset of they think the men are so weak. One of a man, some of them think a man weakness is sex. So for that reason, anytime he wants sex, they're never ready. But anytime they want sex, they feel like when they go to their partner, he will not have that ability to turn them down. So some of them take advantage of that system too.
No, but yeah, and sometimes some men turn that partner down because that partner not doing stuff to put her in the mood, because when it comes to sex, it have to be something that consensual, and both have to be at least in the mood, and both have to be receptive and ready to start the action, and before even starting action, you should also be able to sometimes be able to display full play, because or maybe you should be able to communicate in a way where your partner will be like, okay, wow, because there's a lot of stuff that puts partners or person in the mood, either full play, or how you communicate to your partner, or what you do, and the environment also plays a very important role, because if you're in a relationship where you're in a house with a bunch of kids, running around making noise, don't even give you guys no private time in the room and stuff. So, you have to take your partner on a special date, where you have to rent a hotel, and change the environment, because sometimes the
Spend
environment
quality
is,
time with them.
yeah. You look sleepy. Is that a wine?
Oh no, no, no.
You know,
Absolutely not.
yeah, yeah. I hope the the wine should not put you to sleep. Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so folks, go ahead and comment here, share this live here. We are rerunning this segment. We were supposed to be discussing another segment, but we are rerunning this segment because of you guys here. So feel free to come on, share this here. And I am 100% sure all my notification is on here on this page here. So feel free. I just also put a little note here on the other page that we are live here discussing this. So if you want to make a comment here, go ahead. We will read your comment here. But who is responsible to initiate sexual activity in your relationship, or in a relationship? What have you experienced, or what you have, being lectured by your partner? Because some of you have best friend who pretty much you got discuss everything, but it's also a learning experience. Is also a learning experience. So let's dive into
You previously asked me the question, and I'll try to see how best I can send this question right back to you. Have you ever got it turned down?
Oh yes, yes, yes. Most of the time in my current, like I said, when I switched to dating my own kind, when I'm in my own kind, when I went back to my roots, there were a lot of changes. There have been a lot of changes that you wish I'm used to now. But when I was having inter
Interracial relationship.
interracial relationship. Yeah. When I interracial relationship or dating other culture from the Western world, things were different. Different. Where I was never, turned down, and where I was pretty much the one that always the begging for it. Where I was, where I now I'm used to it so much that I always want to initiate it. So now you go back to your roots, you always want to initiate, and they be like, hold on, it's not time for initiation. What do you do?
Yeah. If I was to initiate sex and I was told it's not time for this and that, or maybe my partner tell me they're not ready, um, there are two things.
We have Devin. Devin just joining us here. How are you, Devin? Can you hear us?
very clearly.
Oh, God.
It's,
Wednesday night.
it's,
Wait, let me put my hat on Google. What you?
it's been a long time. Where you been hiding?
Work and school.
The Vinny been gone away from us, and she is back.
I think she's been busy with school. Devin, how you been? And also, yeah, how you been? Now, we missed you.
I've been pretty good. I've missed you guys too. How you guys been doing?
Oh, we've been doing great here. We are still here. We're still being consistent on the new page. We understand that most people, still following the old page, but we just want to continue to push in this page. But we've been doing fine. Miss I Love You just returned from Liberia, had a lot of experience.
I saw that.
Yeah,
Miss, I love you. How was your trip?
My trip was fantastic. It was an experimental trip. I went to experiment some things, and
I can
so
see it. You left the Midwest girls in, huh? You were-
he left the Midwest girls and he went to go look for LIB.
you went to look for your LIB queen.
you see, I say I went to experiment.
Oh, you went to experiment. Okay.
Yeah.
He
So based on the gathering, at the end of the day, I could take the final product to the lab for production and put it out in the showroom for display. If not, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I love you. Wanted to be more receptive. And so how's your husband doing? Extend our salutation to Hank. I haven't heard from you and Hank in a while.
He's doing well. He's doing good.
Okay, all right. Extend our salutation. I know everybody been busy since the new year started. Everybody been trying to catch up with things. You know how when you set that resolution, you from the beginning you want to start. You say, "Oh, I will be going to the gym." You want to start going to the gym. You want to start eating right. Yeah, but soon after 3 or 4 months, oh, I can't keep up. But some people can still keep up. Yeah. So I know everybody been trying to, get things together. But yeah, but we're happy to see you back on the show. Some of our panelists they are either busy at work or they are doing another show, on our pay, and we understand.
Right.
Yeah, so welcome back here. So let's fire up here. I will let Miss I Love You ask you the question.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. So the
yeah,
question
the noise in the background.
Oh,
Is that
sorry.
from-
It's the TV.
Oh, okay, yeah, because we're hearing noise in the background. So Miss I Love You, fire up here.
the topic on the discussion is very simple. Who is responsible to initiate sex within a relationship? In other words, when it comes to killing dog, who's supposed to start a noise?
I would say both partners. If you feel in the mood, hey, why not? Go for it. Turn your partner on. Do what you gotta do to get him or her in the mood, and do your do.
And do you think in a relationship, when it comes to that, should it involve, because you're in a relationship with a person, should it involve body language or direct questioning? Like, I want kid dog, what's up with you? That goes inside.
No, you gotta be a little romantic. And body
Yeah.
language thing.
So body language, sign, other things. Okay.
Okay, and let me come in here, and I think Devin she's right when she say romantic. No, sometimes you gotta be romantic because romantic leads to the next advances of the activities, because if you romantic, you are sending a signal to your partner. You are sending a signal, say, oh, you know why, and your partner will pretty much be able to read between lines that something is about to happen. It don't always have to be verbalized, because nowadays when you even verbalize with someone, say let's go kid dog, it make them weak, it put them out of the mood. You know what I mean? Just like nowadays, you don't ask your girl and say I want you, then you wait for answer. No, you just start being her friends,
It's
and
called the vibe. The
yeah, all of
vibe.
a sudden you start kissing, and your
The vibe. The vibe.
yeah, the vibe. So yeah, so start with romance, and that's a very key one here. But let me rephrase the question to you here, Devin. So who initiates sexual advancement activity in your relationship? What's that spice about?
See, I think that's the guilty. That's the guilty laugh. That's the
Ah,
guilty laugh.
all right. Let's get
To be honest, my husband. Because for me, once I get out of work, knowing the time that I go to work and the time I come home, I'm tired and I'm exhausted. I just want to take a shower, hit the sheet, and go to bed because I gotta be up early. So majority of the time he does.
okay.
Yeah.
And
What? Yeah. Yeah. I got a follow up question here.
Mhm.
Last week I asked this question on the show.
Okay.
The typical traditional way of African Liberian women initiating sex in their home is known as tying lapa with no panty, nothing underneath. Does this method still work around? How factual is this?
Yes, it does in a way
Either
that
lapa or towel.
yeah, because let's say if I'm comfortable at home and I decide to tie my lap and I decide not to wear it, and I come to my husband and I'm like touching him or just talking to him. Next thing you know, he feeling my legs and everything. Next thing you know, he hand going places that hey, it needed to go, and he felt things and it's not there. That tells him, hey, baby, I want to get it on.
yeah, and just a follow up with that, Miss I love you. It's a signal. It's a signal.
Right.
That's what you
Yeah.
call signs and symptoms. That's a symptom there. That's a signal that the female is sending out to her man that I want to be touched. I want to be talked, dirty or romantic, conversation. Because why would she tell Lapa and just running around the house smiling to a man? Maybe she don't want to verbalize it. Oh baby, let's go and make love. Like I said, verbalizing it killed the mood. It take one partner out of the mood.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, but it does, right? Devin, if
I
your husband
agree.
asks you, say, baby, let's go and make love,
The
do you think that
difference in asking or saying it's unattractive.
very unattractive?
It's very unattractive. Signs and symptoms, like you said, that's what flows the role.
Yes. Mr. I
I'm
love you.
that
When
sign.
last have you communicated to a girl and say I want you? Then you have to wait 3 weeks for her to. Do you know?
No. Listen,
I want you.
no. It's not about I want you.
Yeah.
We're not talking about you seeking a woman interest here. We're speaking about initiating a transaction.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
Now, first of all, we got African American girls who will look at you and tell you, say, I need some DICK.
Yes.
Flat out. They could be talking to you on the phone. They ain't got that time to, this and that. They tell you it straight up. And so, to an extent, based on how it's said, sometimes, you know, like sometimes saying it up front, especially when you don't find yourself in a relationship, and let's say you went to do a casual visit somewhere where maybe there's some flow of chemistry and other things happening. You in a semi-formal environment where you kind of respect the person a little bit, and it's different in those type of environment. You understand what I'm saying? And so sometimes when it come off that way, it's not that it kills the mood. You understand what I'm saying? Because, for example, the typical Liberian girl, she would tell you, say, "Oh yeah, let go. You stop to my house, co-drive for you, this and that," and you
That's,
there, and she up to something else, and
but
the
that's
whole
what's fine.
time, but she don't want to give you any clue that this is why you're here. The whole time she acting like she's so busy cooking this and that,
That's
but
right there. There's nowhere a girl's gonna invite you unless you guys been talking for a very long time. There's no way someone's just gonna meet you out there and invite you to a place and say, "I'm just going to cook you dry right." No, that's the clue right there. She's giving you, "Come over to my house because I'm trying to get it on."
Okay, I got a question here. So sometimes neither of you in the mood, right? Um, Mr. I love you. Sometimes neither of you in the mood, but how you guys not in the mood. You're just pretty much focused on something different, but you're needed though. You're needed, but neither of you in the mood. So how one person will come out and start to send signal or to initiate that if neither of you in the mood.
I will cook you dry and do that. She want to have it.
He's saying, that's what I'm saying.
but so if you are saying both sides are not in the mood,
Yes, both are not in the mood, but
so then whosoever is initiating at some point they got the move from not being in the mood to in the mood.
no, but sometimes both partners don't be in the mood, due to some maybe argument or due to something that they are not even say, actively communicating.
No, so to rephrase your question,
But let me finish.
one person in the mood, but the environment is not too conducive for them to. I'm just saying, because if you say you're not in the mood, you're not gonna stop. If I feel like eating, then why am I asking you for food?
All right, listen now. Let me, but you're not getting my point yet.
Can you ask one more time?
Sometimes both partners is not even in the mood based on argument, based on maybe they are been apart for a while, and but they need a reconnection. All right, and how do they go about setting that scene? David, maybe you can answer that question. Saying, "Mr. I love you" is
Sorry, can you repeat that? So I didn't. Yeah.
the question is
Mm-hmm.
when neither of you is not in the mood,
Okay.
due to maybe argument, you've been arguing, and the argument put some space between you guys.
Okay.
You guys are not friendly at home, but you live in the same house. You live under the roof. How can you guys reconnect that? But you need that sex to pretty much carry that adrenaline. Stabilize that adrenaline. Who will go upon initiating it?
I mean, at some point, one of you guys got to step up to the plate and say something to the other person and start create that conversation movement. You can start talking, and one thing lead to another, and shoot, you're bang.
Can you follow up, Mr.
Step
Lo?
up to the plate. Someone got to plate.
From what I know, with our African sisters, there is something I call the back push. The back push is the typical position where they lay down to the edge of the bed and just put their whole body right in front of you. And they keep pushing until they can feel something firm. And the more they feel something firm, they make it appear like they are sleeping. Obviously, they're not. They keep pushing and pushing. And so, possibility if you're making flour or something, she didn't want to talk to you. She gonna get in that type of mood with you, and behold, you end up getting to the promised land.
So do you think after your one person started the soft conversation, and you guys have already reconnect through sexual activity, do you think that particular sex is will pretty much solve the piece?
No,
But the night.
Will it heal you guys? Will it solve the comfortness, and will everybody will forget about what they are mad about, and peace
They will
is
forget it, but
back.
just at night for peaceful reason, it will solve it. But come the next morning, body's gonna bring it up because you still have it on your mouth. But for that night, just to go to bed in peace, that happens. You're gonna forget it. But comes the next morning, you're gonna bring it up to your partner because obviously you guys have not discussed whatever happened. But just for a peaceful night, and not being like they always say, never go to bed angry.
Yeah.
Marry or so, never go to bed angry. Even though not even married, relationship total, never go to bed angry. So just for that night, it's gonna solve the problem. But comes the next morning, someone else is gonna, one of you guys are gonna bring it up to discuss that.
I concur with you. I mean, the sex will just, it will be a temporary relief of that, argument that was going on. It will
Temporary release.
be temporary relief. Yeah, it will be. It's a temporary release and relief. Because you're both going to release. Maybe during the sex, you both will have orgasm, so you're relieved. It will be relieved. It will, like I said, it will bring down the adrenaline. All right. The violence adrenaline or the argumentative adrenaline will bring it down so that the release right there. Then the relief, it will be, okay, we are already released and now we are relieved. But let me finish.
For me personally, to address that question quick, I personally think when it comes to that, it depends on the depth of the situation, right?
Yeah. Yes.
For example, if you had a minor argument with your partner over something little, the moment your kid or that issue over, the next day you don't need to discuss it. But if it's something major, after that happened, that issue is not over yet. You understand what I'm saying? For example, I started to go pick up my woman, I go pick up her late, and she was standing outside waiting 15, 20 minutes, and she was pissed.
Yeah.
And I pick her, from the club, she's pissed. Like, she got out of the club at 1:30, I didn't get her until 2. I mean, she was really pissed. And I picked her up, went home, and in the night, I was able to baptize her through the River Jordan. I mean, the next day in the morning, we're about to talk about anything. I mean, because even when we wake up in the morning, we'll continue the story, Yeah, so depending on the situation, the depth of it will, depending on that, you'll be able to tell if the issue will be resolved or not.
Okay, so let's read one of our listener or viewer comment. She said, "Your train of thought is wrong. Sex does not solve a problem, but nobody says sex solves the problem yet. Did we say that? Did we say that? Listen, I love you.
No.
It might just give a temporary relief of that situation, because if both of you agree to be sexually active, while one partner is mad at each other, so that sex is just that sexual relief just for that confusion to not go on. But you guys the partner stay mad at his or her spouse, and the only way we solve that problem is, like Devin said, through communication. The sex will not solve the problem. But I'm not. I cannot remember if we say that the sex will solve the problem. Did we say that, Mr.
I said it. I said depending on the issue. If it's something minor, I feel like some minor issue, the moment that happened, it's over with. To everyone. Like I gave you the example of picking up your woman late from work or from the club or whatever.
Yes.
The only thing she's angry about at this point is you pick up her late. It's not that they say you went to go cheat or you hurt her feelings. Like, no, she just want to tell you, say, please, next time don't pick me up late. I mean, obviously she vexed, she get in the house, she won't mind you, she won't pick you up, lay you down. You let her be. The Liberian way of doing things, she go to the bathroom, she go to the bathroom, she finish taking bath normally. When she in that mood, she'll wear neck on, get long neck on, and thing, but if she in the mood, she'll tell about and can't let inside you. And I mean, we hope you'll be ready.
Yeah, but in reality, it still can solve the conflict. It's just a temporary relief, just to cease down, but the conflict still continue if you guys don't communicate and find solution. The sex is not a solution.
Some partners, if you are angry with your partner sometimes and you guys have sex during that angry moment, there are some partners who, after that, based on how minor that issue is, they didn't go to dive into talking and discussing about it. Let our sister over there, you can ask her. Let's use the situation I'm using as an example. If your man wants to pick you up late from work or something, and later on, you went home and
I would be mad the next day.
You still won't talk about it?
I would be mad, sex or no sex. I would, honestly, yeah.
So
Because
so
if
now what you coming to address now?
thing over and over and over, it's not sex. That's not going to cover. It's a problem that we need to deal with. So I'm going to be mad. That's not just going to take away that. No, I'm going to address my opinion and how I felt about the situation. So I'm going to discuss it with you. Hey, this keep happening all the time, and I don't like this. And I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, and you're going to listen. And yeah, the sex is not just going to cover it and be like, oh yeah, it's okay. So next time again, it's okay to do it, and we'll go back to the bedroom. No, I'm going to address it and let you know I don't like this.
But this viewer in the comment section talking about communication is the key. But remember again, last night when you're killing dog, you still communicating with him. You telling him, oh yes, baby, this and that communication going over there. So I mean,
Yeah, but let me come in. Even though the sex cannot 100% solve the issue, but it plays a major role. Just to buttress on what the brother said is, especially if you and that person been in a relationship for a long time, and you decide to make love while arguing, or maybe just to seize down the argument, you decide to make love. In making love, the men communicate with the woman while you're making love. And it changes the atmosphere. It brings down her temper, right? And especially the duration of the sex and the love, everything, that woman might not continue that argument, or she might just be, or tone of voice might change. So it plays a role. It helps. Maybe she might bring back that topic,
But it
but
doesn't cure
in a different tone of voice, where, because they just from having sex, and through that intimacy, the man communicated with her physically, emotionally.
but there is still a problem.
Yeah, it's still a problem, but because of that sex, it have eased the problem.
So let me ask this question, right? So
Yeah.
does it take away the moment that if you and your partner are in the zone doing your thing, and you bring up the situation, does that take away the moment away from you and your partner? If me and my husband were in the moment, I said, babe, I don't like you picking me up late. Does it take away the moment?
No,
Does it ruin the moment?
I would say no.
If I address the problem, if I address the situation, why we are full playing or whatsoever,
yeah.
does it take away does it take away that special moment you're having?
If while you guys are making love,
Mhm.
and you bring that problem up while you're making love,
Mm-hmm.
or not necessarily, and this will be a response. Oh, baby, let's finish that discussion. Because he's already in the mood. He's already being erected, and he's trying to get your mood. He's trying to make sure you are in the same mood he's in. So if you start talking about what had happened earlier that day, he will only remind you. So baby, we'll talk about that later. Meaning that he wants to finish with that sexual activity, then you all can finish the communication. So not necessarily.
Yeah, but David, let me say this, right?
Mm-hmm.
That maybe we'll talk about this later. That would be the longest second for me ever doing that time, because I hate to be in the midst of transaction and then you want to mix match another transaction. Like, no, this is my thing though. This is my thing. I'm coming. You have the fair opportunity to address your partner for you to discuss this issue. Henceforth, before anything just starts.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm not feeling eating go here while celebrating to come upstairs and then you want to tell me, eh? No. It's not fair. Yeah. Yeah, when we're done there, you bring all the thought. I finish and I'm coming upstairs now to go upstairs now.
But most men, that's the way of them. That's the way
we hide our ego.
At a certain situation.
We hide our
and
ego.
not to discuss about that situation. They feel that sex will cover it up and be done with it. So that's why they go that route. Instead of actually talking about it, they want to be more physical in having sex instead of actually verbally discussing it.
But that's why I said to that, right? No matter how angry the man is or how angry the woman is, right after killing dog, it brings the tension down. So the discussion now, right after that whole transaction, that would be a shared time. Because guess what? No matter how angry I was with you When I finish, and you laying in my chest, and when you lay in my chest, my hand at it. When I look at you now, at that point, no matter how angry I was, I'm not that angry anymore. So that is a fair time to discuss it after, right after everything. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
But for some women they still have that. Even though you're getting the door from here to Jerusalem, they still have that situation back in their head that I'm still mad at you. Even though, yeah, I'm in the mood, I want to get it done, but I'm still angry with you. I'm still mad. So even if you do all of these things, I still want to have that discussion. But men are so easily that they just want to forget it. So because I had sex with you or I gave you what you want, everything should just be sealed and done with. But no, it doesn't work that way. We think differently.
Definitely. The women who have the ability to maintain anger during sex. I'm not trying to discredit any man, right? That men who don't do their assignment fully. If you catch a woman and get her quickie, right, she got the ability to maintain it. But if you catch her and you really deal with her, at some point the anger will release. you understand what I'm saying? And then it will escalate now into different mood.
yeah, but let me come in. Devin is right. I have also experienced that. I also try to make it sometimes when me and my wife get in the problem, I feel that sex will solve the problem momentarily. But
also, you do get in the problem too, Kevin situation.
But that's why I'm supporting her statement. She's right.
He's not human being.
Yes, she's right. Some men would not give. Some men would not want to talk about the problem. They want to say, okay, you know what? Maybe if I have sex, my spouse will forget about the problem. But no, the sex, even though she's in the mood, and don't get me wrong, some female can be really mad, but they are in the mood because why? They want to release that sexual, that sexual adrenaline. And even if they are in the mood and the men are in the mood, right? You both have sex, nice sex, longer sex, good orgasm, both of you.
And that's because she want to release. Some of them only doing it because they are performing their duty as a woman. So now, if you're using that as a way of apologies, you got to be more skillful in that particular transaction.
So that's not an apology. That's not if you using it. No, that's not. I want verbal. For me, I would say that my husband, he's there, and even though I'm as mad as I am, and he decided to please me, I'm still mad at you. That's not going to take away. Sometimes I'll be like, babe, I don't like the way you did this. I don't like we can be in Jesus.
Before the sex, you might want to address me in a maybe angry, high-pitched tone. But after I've taken care of things, you hear talking to me with a moderate voice. So there's more level of understanding taking place.
All right, let's recognize our brother here, Mose, who is also one of our upcoming panelists, and I would also like to recognize Deconti, who is an active participant here, watching the show and participating. So Deconti and Mose would like to say hello, and I would like to recognize you guys here. And Mose might be joining us to opine and weigh in on this, or if not, he will write comments and we'll read his comments. But it's all playing, making sense here. Even though you have a point there, which I love you, but Devin have the best. Yes, all right. Devin have the best point here that and she and Degonti that's
one for the Midwest, you're for whatever state you at.
Sex does not solve the problem. It will just ease the tension momentarily, but it does not solve the problem because I have experienced that where even though we had sex, maybe a duration of the time, and but later on, trust me, the woman will be considerate at that moment. She will not want to bring her after the sex. She will wait the next day, right? And she will say, you know what?
Because she's trying to build anger up. She's trying to build anger up. So you the man now, you gotta be sensitive enough to discuss that thing right after that whole transaction. That's when the environment is peaceful.
But how are you?
When I see men, two things. When I see men get off child support right after killing dog, we see women some, give children social security number for them to file for tax right after killing dog. A lot of things have happened right after killing dog. That's the best time to discuss things. You don't wait for somebody to leave that room after she already put clothes on and things. No. And when you back in over there and things don't know how to call it, you try on your second round and try to see how best you can escalate it and then try again.
Okay, well, I mean, that's your thought.
That's your opinion on
That's
that.
your perspective
Okay.
on that. And maybe it have worked in your shoes, but trust me, I have been.
What do you working my shoe again?
I said maybe it have worked in your shoes.
No.
Yeah. So let's go back to the question here. All right. And we going to again welcome our viewers who just tuning in. It is 3 after 10. We're gonna be on the show until 11. The show is usually 2 hours based on the participation of the viewers and the participation of the panelists. So who is responsible? We are going to direct the question here to our ourselves, and our own relationship. Well, Devin had already answered the question, and Mr. I love you did, and I did, but we will recap here. So, in my own relationship, in my current relationship, I'm always the initiator. All right, and she's already the receptive, but sometimes it is difficult for it to be accepted. But in my previous relationship, and I'm very open to talk about it. In my previous relationship, the female was the initiator. She was the initiator in a way where I learned a lot, from her because she was initiating that at least 4 or 5 times a day, and because of a high sex drive. If you date a person with a high sex drive, especially a woman or man, you should be able to, stand that tension. So because she was the initiator constantly, and I was much younger, and I just relocated from Africa, so I got used to it for years and years. So after that relationship was over, any relationship I joined in, I begin the initiator. You see, I begin the initiator, and I try to do things the same way my ex was doing things. So yeah, so I mean, but Mr. Alobi was also right when you say both partners are responsible. But if you are in a relationship where both partners have right, it is balanced. Where the equilibrium here, the sexual equilibrium is balanced right there. Because why? Both partners keep sending signal and they are taking that responsibility. But when one partner is taking the lead, trust me, sometimes the receptor can be a refuser.
And that can bring problem in the relationship.
It does. And we talk about that. It brings problem. Because if you are not accepting the man mood or the man approach, what happened? He looks somewhere else. If the man is not accepting the woman approach, if the man is not becoming a receptor and the woman is always initiating, guess what? The woman looks somewhere else. Because why? The person have a high sex drive. You can't blame the person and you're in a relationship.
And
So am I wrong?
They can always feel that they're not attracted to the person who's not receiving it. If you always initiating the thing, it's like, okay, why is it my partner can't initiate? Am I not attracted to her or am I not attracted to him?
Some of them,
but maybe
some of our sisters are just out of shyness.
No,
Some
it's
of
not
them.
sister, it's brothers too. Brothers too can feel that certain way, like, okay, why is my wife or why is my
So
partner not initiating sex? Does she not find me attractive? Does she what is the deal that she doesn't take that step ahead into our relationship and initiate sexual intercourse with she and I or he and I?
yeah, Devini, I want you to help me with this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong for doing this?
What?
I always find myself in the habit of initiating sex
Mm-hmm.
right after my woman have dressed up for us to go out. That's when I want sex.
That
And
is so
some women, there are some women that have serious problem with it. But this is
I
my
would
thing.
too.
No, but this is my thing though. We're not about to go to the club when you in this tight and your ass is sticking out and I'm just behind you craving all night. Hold up. Walking behind you and craving all night. Like, let me get this out the way before we get out. Please.
That's wrong. In if I'm in my gown at home or my lapa, still it shouldn't be on a special occasion. It should
No,
be
no,
in a
but
moment.
no, that's one of my favorite moves. That's one of my
No, but
favorite
that's
moments.
wrong. I disagree. That's wrong because
What's
it should
what's
be
wrong?
in.
What's wrong with
If
it?
if I'm walking in the house in my scrubs, you should feel sexually attracted to me and be like, okay, baby, you had a long day at work. I see on your face. Guess what? Let's get it in. Make that
Yeah,
sexual move. Do those sexual things that you need to do. And it shouldn't be a special time that you want to initiate that
like maybe on a Sunday
flirting
morning when you
behavior.
finish dressing for her to go to church.
Let's
That's when I want to like. I want
let's
to take everything
Why
off.
must it? Why must it have to be on church? It's a
I'm,
golly. It's a golly day.
let's respond to our viewers' comments because our viewers are also participating in this discussion. So let's respond to our viewers' comments here. So let's start with Moses because we've been responding to Dagonti comments here. First, let's start with Moses here. So Moses reads. Moses writes, I think the issue of sex is at times abused or misused. Sex must never be used to address problems or conflicts within a relationship. Conflicts or problems must be addressed after or before sex. It's important that they are addressed as opposed to using sex to address them because those issues resurface at some point within the relationship if they are not addressed. He's right. And that's the same thing Dagonti was talking about. You can address it before, after, but for me, I like to address it after. Because if you address it before, you might not get nothing. If the tension must increase. So what you do is to minimize the tension, you guys should make love. You can have sex, put the woman in the mood. A person can still be mad, and you can still be able to switch that moment and put that person in a good mood. Vice versa. A man can be mad, and a woman can put you in a sexual mood very quick. All right. After intimacy, then you got to address the problem. And guess what? The problem might be solved because of the action that took place prior, Yeah, because it depends on how well you perform. Let me use some euphemism here. let me use some euphemism. It depends on how well you perform on the field. If you can run from one pole to another pole, ain't no football field. How that's burning a lot of calories. That's called duration. If you can do that and score a goal, and your partner is happy, then guess what? When you start to resolve the problem, through a communicative means, that problem can be resolved easily.
that's a practice of bribery.
But let's go down the eye again.
No, but
Do you want to respond to Moses before we go down to the next viewer?
yeah, there's something called, I don't know if you're aware of it. There's something called blue balls.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so discussing issues before sex, I don't think is advisable. You understand?
Why is not?
Um, Depending on how escalated the situation is, the moment is, I would tell anyone just let it be for that moment. You understand? Afterwards, you can discuss it.
Yeah, so we both on the same page. Discuss afterwards, right?
Yeah, no, yeah, but the whole the before thing is what I don't agree with because I cannot, like I said, I can't be in the middle of transaction and then you tell me, don't test me. You think you did me today, you think okay. Like, excuse me, can we finish what we're doing first? Hello, do you see what's unfolding on down here? And you can't let forsake the gathering of the brethren.
So that's why.
No.
So that's why when your partner is mad, when a female is mad, you have to pour in a mood where that will alter. Say something that will alter the mood for you guys to do what you have to do. Finish playing the game. Then from there, your discourse.
You have the discussion. Absolutely. That's what I agree with.
So, Devin, let's go back to Moses' statement. You want to respond to Moses' statement before we move on to the next viewer's statement?
You read it out, so I'm reading it right now.
Yeah. So basically, the same thing Dagonti was saying, and Moses just kind of, reiterating and buttressing on it. So if you want to respond to that, that's fine. Or else then we can move down.
Y'all can move on. I'm reading it, so you guys can move on if I have to address, I will address it.
Well, are you still reading it? Because I'm going to put the next viewers coming on the screen.
I'm
okay.
still. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead on the next viewer.
Okay, so my man, can you pronounce the man name? Mr. I love you. I can pronounce the last name Kwame. I can call him DJ Ghost.
Kwame.
So, Kwame says sex isn't a resolution issue, and Kwame is absolutely.
I know
right.
that Nawasa.
That's a Ghanaian name.
Yeah, it's a Ghanaian name.
Is it Yeswa?
Yeswa. I Ghost. Please let us know if we sing your name right. For me, he's my buddy, so I just call him Ghost. All right, so you are right. Sex is not to resolve issue, but it's to agree with me. Is to ease down momentarily the conflict. Am I correct? Yes or no, David? It's to ease it down momentarily.
It's not really to ease it down. It's just at the moment you're both in the field, you're both in the mood to get it on, but each other's acting big up.
Yeah, but you guys not gonna be fighting what I had to say.
No, you won't be fighting, but still in the back of your mind that you know that this person have done you wrong. Even be it big or be it small, you know that this person have done you wrong, and you still have that in the back of your head, and you still want to discuss it. Sex at that moment is just for you to release some sort of tension that's in the house that you two are not talking, and get it back to talking, and in a way to fix that problem you guys are going through.
Thank you.
But it's not fixing it. It's just to put that tension down a little bit and get to the real problem and talk about the real problem.
So, Jenny.
Yeah.
Let me ask this question, right? Let's say, for example, maybe she's speaking from a female perspective, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say my girlfriend wronged me, right?
Yes.
And she told me, I love you. I need you to come over for us to discuss something important.
Yeah.
I know at this point there is friction, there is tension between us. I pull up to her house. She can't sit her in the car, in the front seat. She do some sound check. One of the most powerful, mind-blowing sound check. She swallowed the ice cream. She licked the pen. There was no evidence left behind. When she finished, she said, I don't want us to discuss. I know I wronged you. I'm sorry. Like, at this point, what more am I still discussing?
Okay, if she did the wrong, then she's already you guys are already doing a discussion.
So right what resolved that issue though? What resolved the issue?
That's within the movement. She told you, I'm sorry if I wronged you. So she's doing that. That's from her point of view, because she felt that she wronged you, or you explained to her, hey.
But what solved the issue though? What solved the issue?
You obviously on your end, you accepting her apology because she's apologizing to you, saying I wronged you.
No. Listen now. I said she did sound check.
Mm-hmm.
She did sound check, and after the sound check,
mm-hmm.
she told me, she said, I wronged you. I'm sorry. At that point, I didn't say anything else. So what really solved that issue at that very moment?
I can tell you what solved the issue.
Of her apologizing and saying, I'm sorry for
No, it was the mind-blowing sound check that I received from her.
No, it wasn't. No.
Devin, the man might be right. Sometimes during the sound check is so crystal and it's so high definition until she forgets about the problem that has already been occurring. Because of the hard definition of the sound check, that right after the sound check, she said, you know what, baby?
The woman swallowed ice cream, she licked the pen, no evidence was left behind.
Okay, every women are different.
Every women are different. That's the
answer. For me, I take that as her. She felt in a certain way, even though y'all had the best of the best sex ever, but
no, not sex with her.
Whatever it may the case may be. Oh my God, I found out my friend. But whatever the case may be, at that moment she realized that maybe, hey, I offended you. Yeah, you just gave me the bomb. Go ahead, Jesus here, whatever here you get her. at that moment of time,
Now, not me give her that she gave me sound check.
Okay, but maybe she felt that she did something, and that's her saying, "Hey, I am sorry." So she's apologizing with or without the sex. She realized, I'm sorry for saying or acting out a certain way. Her apologizing was her being a bigger person and not waiting on you to say I'm sorry. She took that initiated step to say I am sorry.
And that's true. So let's move on here. Yeah, sometimes the female, even though they are mad, but it still take the initiative to apologize after sound check. Because during sound check, there are a lot of things that occur that pretty much ease that temper, and they are satisfied that
Y'all gonna be thinking when we go to church and say sound check and our mind be going somewhere else for your sound check. And y'all, I can say missing or whatever missing or whatever.
Euphemism. Sound check can be used in different contexts. Yeah, but let's move on here. So Deconti said both parties are responsible. Each party's too should be able to respect when their partner is not in the mood as well. So let me respond to that. And you know, sometimes you want to, initiate sex and your partner that no, I'm not in the mood. And you guys are not fighting. There's no conflict, nothing, but they are saying that no, I am not in the mood.
African men are known for that.
Yeah, and they are saying they are not in the mood. Even if you try to put them in the mood, they will reject you physically, say, no, baby, I am not in the mood. What should a man do when his spouse, his girlfriend, or his significant other say, I'm not in the mood? And even though there is no conflict, there is no madness, she's not mad at him, but she's saying they're not in the mood. This is what I would do. Let me answer my question first then. What I would do is I would respect her wishes, because sex it also should be consensual. Mm-hmm. I will attempt, this is what I would do. I will attempt through conversation to put her in the mood, because there's a lot of ways to put a female in the mood, and there's a lot of ways to put a man in the mood. You don't have to be physically trying to put her in the mood. No, you can use communication to put a woman in the mood, to get her to the space where she's able to say, you know what, baby, when you see her start smiling based on conversation, it means that you are putting her in the mood, and you start making what physical advances. But if I try that and the woman still say I'm not in the mood, guess what I'm going to do? I'm not going to be in the mood too, because you know what? I like for sex to be consensual. Yeah. When you're consensual, I'm in control, that's fine. But if it's not consensual and you want to still be in control, it's considered rape. So if she keep resisting that she's not in the mood, guess what? It will pretty much take me out of the mood too. I'll be there, I'll just say that's fine. What say you guys? Let's hear from Miss I Love You.
So for me personally, based on experience, the girls, the ones that are a little bit thick, the liquor that I can turn them on is Patron. So if I'm dealing with a thick woman, I make sure I get a smaller bottle of Patron, That's their own thing. They take a couple of shots, they're in paradise, and at that point, the environment is set up right, and then I'll be able to see how best the mood can move from regular to then be in the mood and then continue from there. Now, the regular skinny girls, where some of them kind of look like, our sister over there, their one thing is what? Moscato. You give them, certain type of Moscato. When they finish out one bottle, they come into you straight. They say, come here. You take out your microphone, they start doing sound check, etc., etc. But, so if you know you've wronged her, you have to put in that extra effort to set that mood and get her going. In order, if you know you want to use that route to resolve the issue. It's not every issue in a relationship or in a marital home that can be discussed through this route. There are some things, it's very, very serious. You put killing the up in one side. If you need to go sit to a restaurant and discuss it, that's how serious it is. But there are other issues, based on it, you can go this route. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to put in the extra effort, set the mood for her. The mood is set right, and you get going. Some of our sisters will tell you they're not in the mood. One of the simplest things you can do that a lot of our African sisters don't even know is their weakness. Some of them, their weakness is not their titties, it's just their neck. There's a way you can suck the neck and use your tongue on the neck, and I mean it can really move gravity. You understand what I'm saying? So it's left with you on how you really get the mood set up and get it going, and things will be able to pick up from there.
Okay, Devin. So you got to respond to this question. If you are in the mood, you want to initiate and sex to your husband, and you guys are not fighting, you don't have no previous or conflict, and he just saying he's not in the mood, and he's not telling you the reason, but he's just saying I'm not in the mood, baby, and you're trying to make that attempt. What will you do to either put in the mood, or will you just be like, okay, and
I will check my microphone, make sure it's loud and clear. Simple.
so if
That's
you
every
try to,
man dream.
so if
Hey,
you, no, not every man dream. So if you try to check your microphone, the man said, "No, I do not need this microphone."
It's very hard for men to say no to sound check.
thank you.
But Jenny,
Men love
It's
sound
very
check in the
hard for men
morning,
to
and
say
he
no to
loves
sound check.
listen,
He
this
loves
is
sound check on
hypothetically.
surprisingly.
Worst, no, things happen sometimes. You don't know what a man is going through. Maybe he just don't want to
That
verbalize
least is, you can't tell me there's no man on this planet Earth when a woman
that.
decides to pray to you
Uh-huh.
and you say no.
So when you tell a woman, say, I'm not in the mood of that prayer at that moment.
Guess what? You my partner. Hey, I'm gonna continue doing it. You stop me and push me away and say no. But I'm gonna continue doing what I'm doing to you until you push me away.
Well,
Then I'm gonna get you in the mood.
let me respond to G. Metusula, I cannot call you. I sent you the link, brother. Yeah, I sent you the link, G. So yeah, follow the link, copy the link into the Google browser or the Safari browser to come on. Yeah. So but then they're gonna be saying,
I'm free.
In the morning, there's always the next day.
yeah, they're gonna say that
What's that?
drink cold water and sleep. Tomorrow is a new
Oh
day.
my!
And sometimes communication before bed is all what she or he did. And she's right. She's right. Communication sometimes, because what Devin is saying, say there is no man on earth if you want to pray to them. Trust me, there are a lot of men, including me, that sometimes reject the prayer, reject the microphone check. Yeah. When a person is not in the mood, I don't care what you do sometimes, you can't really get them. All
But
right.
do you guys realize that men's sex drive are higher than women's sex drive?
All right, let's bring some panelists on here.
Oh gosh.
We got our man on here, Moses, and let's bring another panelist on here for us to make this very, very interesting. Yeah, different points of view. All right, let's see here. We also have Methuselah on. Okay, folks, we have two new guests that just joined us here, and we're going to invite them. The first thing we're going to invite them here to the show. We go on 1 hour and a half here. We have 30 minutes to climax the show, but thank you guys for joining us. Thank you here, Mr. Boze and Nathan Sum. So for the benefit of our viewers here, go ahead, introduce yourself, and then we can move forward here to the question. To start with Moses.
Thank you. My name is Steve, but I go by the pseudonym on Facebook, Moses. It's always a pleasure being here to talk about what concerns us as humans, as Liberians. I think it's important for us to have some of these open discussions so that we can learn from one another, and we can educate friends, family members, loved ones, and the next generation. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you very much. Yeah. Go ahead here, Mr. Nitison.
Well, you already know what time it is. Most of you guys already know me. If you don't know me, you get to know me. Name is Native Son, aka the King of Dubai. I saw the flyer. I thought it was something interesting. AJ and I, we had a quick conversation. He wanted me to come on tonight to be part of the panel. However, I did tell him that his next panel, I will be one of those on there. And however, when I tried to listen in a little bit, there was some answers or some points that were made that kind of boiled my blood a little bit, that I wanted to respond to. So
It trigger your enthusiasm.
yes, it has demobilized my whole iniquity. Yeah. So I come and opine on few things. So for ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for having me on here. I'm looking forward to respond to a few things.
Okay. Thank you very much. Yes. So the topic of discussion today is who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship. Is it the man, the woman, or both partners have equal right? So we will start with Steve.
Moses.
Thank you. Yeah,
Brother
but man,
in law.
what's up? So I'd like to. The first thing I want to say is, I think the issue of who initiates sexual activities, once that question is raised, is an important question. But then it also, to some extent, sets the expectation that this should be the sole responsibility of one party or one person. When in fact, the issue of sexual or intimacy, I'll use the word intimacy,
Right.
both people or both parties, have equal, I'll say, feelings to some extent, or they can get excited, they can want to get involved. So I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't recommend or looking at one person initiating it, because that's where the problem comes from. Then it seems as though the burden is on one person to initiate it, when, of course, women do get excited, men do get excited. So I think I would look rather to advise or to recommend that people should pay attention to what are some of the things that would stimulate, motivate, what are some of the signs and the signals from either party that would get one person excited. So people should pay
You keep
attention to.
using the word excited. Are you saying sex come out of excitement?
Yeah, for the most part, to some extent. The thing about it is the issue of sexual activities. It's even a big subject in itself. So you must be excited to some extent to get involved. So when you remember when you use the recommendation of having alcohol to get the person excited or stimulated. Let me use the word excited or stimulated. A couple of drinks, a couple of alcohol will get people stimulated. Let's take, for example, for some people it would probably, I've heard Bailey, I've heard different things, different people, whether males or females. So then I would say people should pay attention to cues, who they're dealing with, because there is always this sign and signal. People always send sounds and signals, knowingly or unknowingly. Remember last week how we were talking about the person coming from, I think last week or a couple of weeks ago, we talked about the women tying towels in some culture. It could be a signal.
Right.
It could be a signal. Just the fact that the person calls you to the
Power
house.
with no plenty on the.
No, I didn't say that. You saying that. But in a nutshell, I think both parties can initiate it. I also think it's important for us to pay attention to who we're dealing with, who we're involved with, to see, what are some of the signals, what are some of the signs. But then also, it's okay to verbalize it what you want. It's okay. There is nothing wrong for you to ask. Nothing wrong with it. You're not committing a crime. You're not sinning. Nothing. I think then people start to understand how to get some of these things, or how to get involved with people, as opposed to waiting on one person sitting by, and that you want to be the person to initiate it. I think it gets more exciting when people express what they want, whether verbally or non-verbally. It's very important. But then the other party should pay attention to as well.
Okay. Thank you there, Steve, and I appreciate that here. Just to follow up here with you, like I stated that it depends on when you're in a relationship, depends on a partner, you know, sex drive because some relationship both partner does not have the same sex drive, and statistically, written or studied that men 68% of men in a relationship usually initiate sex, and the females are always receptive, because they are in a relationship, and most of the time they don't want to reject. Even if they're not in the mood, they sometimes fake it just to satisfy the partner. But if your partner have a higher sex drive, it will be that person initiating it, whether it's the woman or the man. That's why it boils down that both partners have the equal rights. But however, in some relationship, like I keep repeating, the woman or the man, they usually initiate that. And when you also spoke about it is fine to verbalize your needs and wants, which is fine. But in this modern world we're in right now, if you do too much of verbal, seeking or asking for sex, it just put your partner in a different mood. It send a different signal. I mean, you can do more than that than to verbalize it, because action speaks louder than words. By the way of body language or communication, it don't have to be, verbalized in a direct way, because sometimes it throws that person out of the mood. But before I turn it over to my man, Mr. I Love You, I just want to ask, before I turn it over to Mr. I Love You, in your relationship, who usually initiates the sexual move?
Well, I've told you before, I reserve comments on my personal life, and I will stick with that. But there's something I didn't say I wanted to add up really quick before Mr. I Love You or Native Song, who joined the same time I joined, can also speak on this issue. Um, Communication is very important, but I think the issue of comfortability plays a huge role. You know, my pa used to say, when you make a woman comfortable, she can do anything. Don't fight to sleep with a woman, but make her comfortable. He always used to say that, but I didn't understand it when I grew up and I started getting involved. Then I understood what he meant in terms of comfortability. So I think
Mhm.
comfort also plays a huge role. Comfort plays a huge role in the issue of intimacy and so forth. But bottom line, communication it's critically important.
Okay. Uh, we like to bring Mr. I Love You on here, but I think he went off the screen here for some time. Yeah, not Mr. I Love You, but Native Song. Yeah. So Native Song, if you are listening to us, you are welcome to come back on here. I know you and Divine, you guys are off right now. So let's bring Native Song back on here. So Metusula. So
But Jerry, I thought I started follow Moses.
oh, okay, go ahead, follow up with Moses, because I wanted Metusula to jump in quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Steve, he raised a lot of key points. I think your microphone is mute. If you're unmuted.
Yes, yes.
Please, can you guys give me one second, Mr. I Love You, before you go on? After he respond, I am going to mute my microphone and turn off my camera. I'm in the middle of something, but it will take me about maybe 2 to 3 minutes or so.
Okay.
I will just log back in, and when I log back in, then it'll
Take
be
your time and complete your transaction, brother.
yeah. After I'm
Take your
done,
time and complete your transaction.
back
It's
in.
very
But
necessary.
I'm
Go
listening to
ahead.
things, so I should be in tune to answer any or
You
any
basically with your two
anybody.
hands. We understand. You basically with your two hands. Go ahead. So, Mr. Steve, looking at the topic under discussion, one thing we want to know, what do you think? We're speaking about who is responsible to initiate sex, looking at both sides being responsible, this and that. What are some of the signs? What are some of those keys that, one side or both sides can show to each other to let them know that, hey, I'm up for it? let's try to educate people. What are some of those signs, if possible, that you can, both partners living in a home can show to each other to let them know that they're in the mood for it, they're ready for it. Because if we only talk about who want to initiate it, and people say, okay, now I know that the man's supposed to initiate it or the woman's supposed to. Now you left the audience with a question like, okay, what do I do now? Because at this point now, I don't know what else to do to throw in these clues. What are some of the popular clues that people throw in from both sides to let them know?
I think initially people could be spontaneous to some extent. Initially, from an initial stage, there would be no set time or so forth. Some people are based on their experiences, based on the culture, the environment in which they are, and so forth. So let's take, for example, but people who live together and so forth, more likely so you tend to have understanding of your partner to some extent. Now, if you are not paying attention to that, then I would encourage you to start to pay attention because it's critically important. That's part of life. You need to pay attention to body language, signs, and so forth. So I will say the question you're asking is a good question, but it's not mutually exclusive to just one person. Because I could say some of the sign could be the person walking in front of you with a towel, but maybe it couldn't be applicable to another relationship. So if we want to consider universal signs, right? If we want to consider something that's maybe universal, then maybe touching, some people are very touchy and rubbing and kissing and so forth. For some people or most people, kissing and other things, touching could lead to that. For in another instances, what I would say also in
Like
another instances is
looking at our folks back home, some of them sometimes one of the general thing they always do is like maybe the woman or the man on a particular evening when they're in the mood, they will just rush the children to pack everything so they can go inside and go sleep soon. Hey, y'all all get a teenager inside. It's like,
yes,
that's their way of,
right,
communicating
right.
and
They
yeah.
try to give you signals and prepare the environment or clear the environment or whatever it is. But I think in the society where we are now, let's say in the United States or in the Western world, one of the things we find to be common, especially when that person is comfortable with you, they become expressive, verbally or non-verbally. So let's take, for example, some people would put on a certain movie. I'm not saying this is applicable to everybody. Some women would, like you said, prepare everything, get ready, and just what they're wearing for that night. If you know your woman or whatever it is, sends you a signal as a man. You know what's up. Other thing also that we need to pay attention to also is, just the watching a common movie or so forth. Some of the
Moses.
Yes.
Considering the vast majority of our viewers, which is from Des Moines, Iowa, a lot of them got a lot of kids in the house. So with that type of situation, what are some of these ways they can still let a man know that even though with the children passing around, she can't wear those obvious nightgown and things and pass around the kids in the house. Like, so how are they going to work around it? I mean,
you want me to say nobody. But anyways, let me address the question as you've asked the question. You see, part of relationships, especially romantic relationships, that's part of our responsibilities. We must be honest. It's not the most important factor. Some people overemphasize and make it look like it's the most important thing, but that must be included. It must be. So again, it boils down to communication. As grown-ups, it boils down to communication. It's okay for you to assist the person to get the children in bed, get them ready, and so forth. Make time for them, prepare them to go to bed, because most of them evidently would go to school the next day anyways. Let them do their homework or whatever it is. And the parents get prepared to go into their room. Now, in some cases too, in some instances, you might have younger children or babies or so forth that maybe would be sleeping in your room. Let me put it that way. Some of the children, then they hate too hard. They let us sleep on mine, Pop B. Look, part of being mature is your ability to be able to control yourself. There is no emergency here. There is no emergency here. At some point, that child will fall asleep. We are grown. We must understand the timing as well. It's important. Now, one of the concerns that has come up is people want to make this look like it's some kind of emergency. It must happen now and so forth. But we have to accommodate our children. We have to be respectful of them as well. We do have to accommodate them. And we have to do everything we can, to ensure that they become priority, because whether you like it or not, you guys will still get intimate at some point. So no need to rush. No need to make it look like some kind of emergency. Take care of the children. Make sure they are secure in bed and they're safe, and communicate it with your partner. You guys get to what you need to get to.
Thank you so much. Over to Kevin Situation. Let's run it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Steve, for your input. We appreciate that here. So back here to Mr. I Love You. Mr. I Love You, are you with us?
Yes, sir.
And I'm back in. I'm ready.
Okay, back here to Nathan Song here. I keep calling Mr. I Love You. Nathan Song, welcome here to the program here. Thank you. I know this is an impromptu appearance, but would like to say welcome here. We usually discuss Wednesday night, ladies' night, hot relationship topic. So we are discussing a relationship topic here. The question to you is, who is responsible here to initiate sex in a relationship? Is it the man, the woman, or both partners? So, but I'm asking the question here directly here. You can either generalize or you can use yourself as a reference. Who is responsible to initiate sexual activity or sexual advance in your relationship?
Well, we're not going to speak on my relationship, but after I answer, you should definitely understand what I mean, or you should definitely relate that to my relationship. But in order for me to answer this question, I actually want to go back on a few things.
Yeah.
There was a sister online, Sis D. When you ask her, I was really surprised that she said she was going to check her microphone or check her mic, which I am, from previous conversation, it is referring to oral sex, or and interaction and things like that. And
Yeah.
that kind of hit me a little sideways. Then I also heard Mr. I Love You with his response, and that kind of hit me a little sideways as well. And then my brother Steve responded, and that still didn't sit well. I believe. Then you respond, and that still didn't do the deal for me. That's one of the big reasons why I came on. So, in conclusion, I believe out of the response that I've heard tonight is one of the main reasons why there are a lot of failed relationships, in my opinion, in our community.
The native son.
Yes.
But do you still remember the discussion topic? You remember the question?
Yes. Who was supposed to initiate? Remember, I read your flyers and we spoke, and you said I should come on the panel, and I told you that we will have to set another time for me to be very prepared. But I came to respond to those views that I heard. That's why I came on. Actually, remember I told you that.
Okay.
Now, when it comes to relationship, and I think that's one of the big problems that we have in a successful relationship. Is everybody there? Because everybody disappeared.
No. The viewers are watching.
You're protected. Go ahead,
I just want
Tufan.
to make sure everybody there. So when it comes to relationship, I believe that nowadays, all the generation that we're in, nobody ever take the time to actually date anymore. And that's one of the big problems. Now, dating, it doesn't mean, just going out and going eating and things like that. Dating means a period of time for you to get to know each other. Because a relationship means that you are relating to another human being. In order for you to relate to a whole new person, you have to know their likes, their wants, and things like that, right? So I don't think we take time anymore to know our partners, because if you know your partner with sex starts as soon as you wake up. Sex starts as soon as you wake up, right? So you and your woman wake up in the morning. I know personally, I'm very horny from about 4 a.m. to about 8 in the morning. I'm very horny.
So basically, you have a very high sex drive.
Yes, that's that.
Yeah.
However, In order for me to prepare any woman that
From
I'm with,
4 a.m. to 8 a.m. That's 4 hours.
yes, in order for me to prepare the woman that I'm with to be able to please my desire, it starts in a day. You got to see how the day goes. Okay, you can't just wake up, go about your day, then come back home at the end of the night and then touch a woman and think she's just supposed to magically be in the mood. No. How has a day gone when you got home? Have you talked to her? Have you guys had a conversation? Because Mr. I love you talk about how take girls like, I don't know, our tequila or what kind of alcohol
Patron, patron.
Patrol, trust me. I don't me, I like big girl. You don't get meat on you, I don't touch you. I like meat. I'm skinny, you skinny. I don't like my tie to head. No bone to bone. I like girls with me. So I deal with a lot of thick and bigger girls, bro. I don't mean a girl who will drink a whole bottle of Patrol and not do nothing. That's the worst thing. You don't even want to start with alcohol. The first thing you need to do as a men, we are always responsible to actually initiate a lot of things. Now, in a relationship, when it comes to sex, it has to go with both partners. However, men, you need to be more advanced and more aggressive to make sure that your woman is not bored. In so doing, you are not just physically trying to intrigue her. First thing, you got to fuck the woman's mind, or prepare the woman's mind. Go into the mind of a woman, because when you are into the mind of a woman, you can always subdue that woman from up there. That's number one.
Wow, that's a strong statement. That's a very informative message. That thank you, Mr. I
Because
love.
if you go physically to a woman, there will be another woman, and I tell my woman now, that I tell every woman, your beauty is great, but sweetheart, if I can't talk to you,
Did you say your woman them or your woman?
oh, my woman now, but I've had women before her, and
Oh, okay,
all
okay,
right.
okay.
So when I say women, any woman that I come in contact with, I let you know what I'm looking for. Because if I at one point I was in a place where I was a wounded soldier, and I was only fucking women just to fuck them for fun. I'm not coming, and I will fuck them for 3 days, and I will not come, and I will tell them I don't want relationship. Just enjoy
Can
yourself,
you
have fun. You see what
can
I'm
you
saying?
use can you use some euphemism
Okay.
in place of
Well,
that word?
I will be involved. I will sexually be involved with a woman for 3 days. I mean,
Thank
actually ejaculating or releasing anything. Right
you.
now, there are other women that are me. If you can actually get into the mind of a woman, because the center of control of anybody is your mind. So if you are able to penetrate the mind of a woman, you are able to get that woman to do anything at any time. Now, after you penetrate that woman mind and you are able to subdue that mind, now you got to see what's going on in a day. You can't just look at a woman. There are certain women who would love to have sex during their menstrual cycle. There are other women who feel disgusted. There are other men that feel disgusted. Some men, I don't mind that. If you are my woman, I don't mind. But if
You, you
see
don't
a
you don't
woman,
mind you don't mind crossing the Red Sea.
I don't mind crossing. Moses did it. That why I carry stick. I can split the Red Sea.
Oh,
I'm the number day Moses. No problem. But what about women? Some women feel some type of way. So now that's where it comes to what's going on in your woman's life. What is going on when you guys wake up throughout the day? What happened? She went to work. Now when you came home, and most Liberian men will miss that. Now you came home. Have you asked a woman, how was your day at work? Let a woman vent to you, tell you about her day. You tell those are the things that actually start the whole process. You see what I'm saying? Okay, your woman going to take a shower. Then you sit down in the living room doing your own thing, drinking your Hennessy, or trying to give her alcohol. No, you go in the bathroom, you bathing the woman, you washing your body, you rubbing her. You see what I'm saying? Those things. If you are the men are always expected to be the first person to take the step. But a relationship, it takes two to tango. So women also have the initiative, right? So let's say, for example, if my woman, for me personally, let's say my woman tell me, "Hey, babe, my back is hurting." At that point, my whole sex drive is down, because at that point, in my mind, my woman is in pain. So at that point, sex is not the right time for me to propose, right? So now as a man, I need to subdue, so I need to kind of suppress my
Are you
instinct.
saying that because you normally practice a lot of doggy style, which involve the waist and the back? Because there are other sexual positions that don't involve the waist and the back.
No, no,
So
no,
even if a woman
no,
is
no,
having waist or back pain,
no, no,
there are
no,
other
bro. A
positions
woman,
that she could
listen,
survive through.
listen. A back, if somebody have a back pain, they can be laying any kind of way and they can still feel the back pain, bro. It doesn't matter whether they are on doggy, they can lay down on their back. As long as somebody's feeling the pain at any part of the body, they will still pain. They will still feel it. Depending, it doesn't matter what it is. You see what I'm saying? So as for me, if I feel like somebody or my woman, and that's why you got to take time to really get to know a woman. If you really know a woman, you will know her sex drive. Now, when you know her sex drive, you know her sex drive is low and yours is higher than her, or hers is high and yours is low. Then you have to start talking, and it's okay for you to verbally conversate. Another thing is this: Liberian men are afraid of sex toys. Liberian men or African men, let me say that, are afraid of sex toys. Unfortunately, our aunts, our mothers, and our fathers, they didn't eat gohi or cow hair. They didn't give hair. We in this new DNA now, we are adapting to this. So there are things that there are certain women that are used to it. So
But,
at the end of
but
the
not
day, there
all.
has to be a conversation. Both people have to initiate whenever you feel that urge of having sex. If you know that you and your partner are at a good place, or your partner is at a good place, anybody can initiate it. However, you need to make sure that you guys have a conversation about your sexual relationship or your sexual activity, so that both people will be on the same page. That way, when things happen, everybody understand. Because let's say if I have a woman who says drive is higher, mine is low, and she say, okay, sometimes I might want to use a vibrator. When you don't feel like having sex, I shouldn't be feeling some type of way. Yeah, go use a vibrator because I don't want to have sex at that point because my sex drive is low. It shouldn't be a problem to me. Or if let's say if the woman, sex drive is low and mine is high, she shouldn't be she shouldn't have problem if I watch porn and go beat up my meat. You see what I'm saying? So it is all about relating to each other and understanding each other for you to, because the Bible says, until the two have understand and agree, they shall not walk together. You got to agree.
I concur with that. Most of the stuff
And the
you
Bible also said that shall not be unequally yoked. It's not talking about religion alone. It's talking about
Native,
personality, sexuality, everything that goes into relationship.
natives.
so,
It
so
shall be well with you.
that's why before it even goes to it goes to marriage, it leads to marriage. Because when you start dating a person, you start communicating. Maybe you'll have sex 2 or 3 times, you'll make love. You have to get to know that person. That person have to get to know you. Have to communicate. Say, oh baby, I'm a person that have a very high sex drive. I'm a nymphomania. All right. And if that partner really don't want to be with someone with a nymphomania, you don't say, you know what, maybe I have sex with a guy a couple times, but he's not someone who pretty much I want to see a long term relationship with. Or I have to keep up with him. I have to be very receptive, because like you mentioned, majority of the time the man is always initiating and the women are receptive. On the other hand, women too nowadays, especially in the Western world, they take the initiative, and they pretty much advance through communication, through body language, through different means. All right, and in the Western world, both partners always have the equal rights. If you look at the Western world compared to the Liberian culture, where the men should always initiate, the men should be able to read body language of the.
Can I inject one thing real quick?
Yes,
Alcohol should never be a persuasive mechanism in any sexual activity.
I
I
agree with you too.
completely disagree with that.
Yeah,
I, mm,
I don't completely disagree, but I agree that you don't have to use alcohol to bring more
shouldn't
food. You
you
know,
shouldn't you
the
shouldn't
alcohol
because the reason why I said that is this, because according to the law, a woman can say yes to you while she's drunk and
yeah,
wake up the next day and
let's
say
say
she was drunk
yeah,
and she didn't consent, and you can be in trouble.
she was influenced with the alcohol.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes,
And I've met women who out me, I can drink. I'm not gonna lie. I've
yeah,
met women who will drink the whole bottle and that woman still looking at me while I'm trying to fall over. You see what I'm saying? So as much that brother, you having experience take women in here. My last place here, MBG.
What it stands for?
It stands for Methuselah Big Women, 499 pounds.
Let's bring Moses in. Moses.
No, Jerry,
Yeah, go ahead.
Native Son say a lot of things.
And you
I
wanna-
do not want to open an argumentative forum.
But that's what we are on the show for.
However, I
Confirm.
100% disagree with him
On what?
in all his points that were laid out.
Well, can you be specific? Can you
Yes.
2 or 3 points? Because I want Moses.
Picking it up from the top.
Okay.
He said you gotta get a woman turned on from her mind. You understand?
Why you disagree with that?
The reason I disagree with that is you got to be very careful with men who have ways of mentally messing up with women. You understand? Now, sex, when it comes to sex, everything about sex, majority of the aspect of sex has to do with physical aspect. You understand? So now, if someone want to sit down and psychologically mess with you and get your mind frame in a particular state of mind, you understand, before they can approach you, it's almost like you're being hypnotized. Again, speaking about going against your will with the alcohol issue, at that point, a female could be operating against her own will because of the state of mind you got her in. For example, you got some of our Liberian brothers who will go in public, they see 4 or 5 women saying that they're talking a house party, and they start lying to them and say, oh, I can eat one more, go here until the whole ocean will open, the swimming pool will open, you'll see water wasting this and that. Now you're getting her in a particular state of mind. You can't, that's how you cajole her. You understand what I'm saying? Now you're making her feel like you can give her certain experience that realistically speaking, you possibly can't. But because of out of curiosity, when you put her in that mind frame, she might yield back to you and follow along. Again, technically speaking, if you want to go deep down into the law, she's going against her will. It's because of the place where you got her. Now, when it comes to alcohol issue, I do agree that when a woman is under the influence, don't bother her. Don't take advantage of a woman under the influence. You understand? But if you have a female friend who tell you, on Friday I coming to your house, the thing that me and you coming do, not small thing. She's talking to you on a normal level. She's not under the influence. And then she go ahead and tell you, but make sure you get me XYZ bottle. You are not enticing her as she's coming. She's already told you this under a normal circumstance. She's telling you when she come and visit you, the Israelites will cross the Red Sea and will go on the other side of the promised land. This lady has made it clear to you. So at this point, when she come and visit you and she asks you, oh, what my bottle I told you to buy? You say, oh, there's a bottle over there. And she take 1 or 2 sips and then things started happening. It's not like you're imposing alcohol on her or it's not like she's acting out of the influence. You understand? There's a woman who's coming to your house. She got her extra painting in her bag. She got her extra clothes in her bag. She knew what she was coming for. You understand what I'm saying? So looking at the dynamics in there, looking at all the things he's saying. Now, when it comes to the Red Sea, he made mention of, oh, he think it's okay to have intercourse with a woman while she's on her period. I personally am against that. When a woman is having a menstrual cycle, it is time for her to put away some waste material. You understand?
That's different from what we're talking about, though.
I know, but he raised this
different topic.
No, I know, D, but he raised this
It
point.
is, and you the same person that said you gave a woman alcohol to get her in that mood.
That's the reason why I was
This
kept
is
raising my
we're
hand. I
bringing a
wanted him
whole
to
different
end.
topic into the topic that
Please.
we're talking
No,
about.
I want to
Sis,
listen.
but
He came up with all those points.
Mister, I love you.
So I'm trying to take care of it in
Please,
the
let
order
him let
that he
him
brought it
finish,
in.
and then because I want him to understand that actually because his response was giving somebody the take getting laid or tequila, giving somebody
Right.
alcohol is actually manipulating their mind
To
and
do
actually
a woman
having them not even control their minds.
her
I'm
No,
only
but
talking about actually
breastfeed,
speaking
whatever.
words.
We're bringing this to a whole different topic.
So
We have
let
the
him
topic that
finish
we're talking
because
about.
he responded to me, so
Stay
I
on
can let him know that he's
what
actually
we're
making my point.
So, gentlemen, Mr. I love you. You weigh in after Nathan's son spoke. Okay, let's go. It's a round of table discussion. We
no,
are
but I wasn't done. I
You were
got
still
cut
going.
off.
You were still
okay.
going. You was not done.
Climb out your thought because I want to bring Devin and Moses into because we are also running against time here. We have to climax the show in a little bit.
So to my last point, he's speaking about having sex with women on a period. I personally think when a woman is having a menstrual cycle, it is time for her to get rid of certain waste material in her. So I don't see why someone would want to apply friction down there and try to re-inject, what should be executed out of her back into her. It makes no sense.
Can
You
I
understand what I'm saying?
can I please
Equally, so
respond?
even if a woman is in the mood, there are other ways, there are other options, there are other things she can do to help please herself. But for me personally, I don't see it to be very hygienic. It's something that I will not endorse. I will encourage anybody to get engaged in such an act. The only possible point I could agree with you, Nelson, is when a woman going to go in the bathroom and go be rubbing your back while you bathing to help you get you going for the evening. That makes sense to me. But other than that, I'm sorry.
Can I respond?
Now,
Can I
I
miss.
respond?
got, I got
Can
something
I,
to say on that.
sis,
I
can
got
I
something
please,
to say on that.
can I please respond? It will take me only 2 minutes. I promise.
D left Nathan's son respond.
Number one,
This is Lady Nido.
Yeah,
yes, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Please just let me. Number one, I want to
That's
talk
what I
about.
said.
I want to talk about you talking about me talking about actually being able to manipulate or actually subdue the woman's mind before sex. Everything that happened is in the mind. If you give a woman or you give anybody alcohol, you know what it does? It alters their mind. So you're actually fucking with their mind where they have no control. I'm talking about talking to them and seducing them while they are still completely sober, completely in their
Alcohol is
right
being
mind.
given to them
Now,
upon their request.
number two,
Not
No,
my, not
no,
on my
when you talk
request.
regardless, it also
when you talk about the menstrual cycle, I do want you to understand. I don't know if you know, but women are more horny when they are on their period
We got
than
a
any
sister here. She will testify to it. I don't know
women
how
are
true
more,
your
let me tell you,
statement is.
women, Mr. I love you. Listen to me. Women are more horny when they are on their period than any
Our
other time.
sister Reyes, she will testify. I don't know how true it is.
Yes, we'll if you don't mind, I don't want to
well,
disrespect
we
you.
can,
To
we
testify
can,
now.
can I say
Now,
something? Can
we
I
will,
talk?
let me make
most
one more
likely that
statement.
for
With
another
that
discussion.
with that being said, women being more horny on their period than any other time. With that being said, if
It's
you have a
alert. It's alert.
with that being said, it also go back to what I was saying, dating and getting to know the woman. If the woman is okay with it, I'm not saying I want to have sex when they are on their period. I completely understand they on their period, they're in their mood, but I need at that point I already know my woman. If when she on her period, if that's what she want, I don't have no problem with it.
You
If
cross
you
the
don't
Red
want
Sea.
that, I understand that it's something personal, and there are some women that like it, some don't like it. And you got to that goes back to getting to know the woman, which means intellectually manipulating that woman mind for you to understand her intellectually, because that's the control center of the whole body. Because if you understand the mind, you can understand the whole body.
You
That's what
from
I
Des
was.
Moines? You from Des Moines, right?
Go ahead, D.
Okay, so Mr. I love you.
Talk to me.
Regardless, if the woman agree on drinking or whatsoever, at the end of the day, it does not make it okay, because yes, I agree with what Native said, that it alters your thinking, on what you do or what you say, it affects you. Be it women, be it men, it affects you. Hello?
Yeah,
We're all listening
Yeah,
to
we
you. And I
all on the
tell you,
line.
we
We're
want to
hearing
see.
you.
We
Sorry,
won't
yes.
be looking at your face now. Oh, go ahead.
So yes, it affects you. So you going back on what you said, that you gave your big women patrol or whatsoever. That's wrongdoing. To
So,
get if
so
they're not in
D,
the mood.
you telling me when you're in your right state of mind and you request me to set up a night for you, I should get certain bottle for you ready.
Uh-huh.
You're telling me when you come to my place,
Mm-hmm.
you didn't tell me this when you're under the influence. You were in your right mind, and you
So
told me I
I
come
thought
and
this
listen.
was,
You told me
I
I
thought
come and
this was,
visit you on
I thought
Friday.
this was the
The Friday I
relationship
come
we're
and
talking
visit you.
about.
I
Mm-hmm.
come in. You told me you said I come and visit you on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Friday I will be to your pulse on the Sunday. Trust me, I hope you're ready for me because I really want to release stress, this and that.
All right,
But
No,
when I come,
we got
listen now.
gentlemen,
no.
ladies and gentlemen,
Do we
ladies,
need to re-illustrate the question?
But
Because I thought we're talking about a relationship situation, not somebody
yes,
who just coming over.
yes. So let's do this. Let's give a closing statement because the segment was supposed to last 2 hours based on the other project that coming up. It's 11:08, and all you guys' response were relevant to the discussion that we are having, except that we started at 9 p.m. So what we're going to do is send some of our panelists came late, and this is the a very very important topic. We will do a follow up here. So we're going to do a closing statement. I don't want Nathan Son and Mr. Lovey to go back and forth. So in order for us to do a closing statement, let's start with Steve Moses, fire it up.
Thank you. I think it's a good discussion. I my only recommendation would be hopefully we can stick with the conversation and stick with the subject at hand because a lot of good points that were made, but once we start to deviate from the conversation or the topic, it makes it harder for us to keep focus. And then we also throw our audience off. So, I would hope that hopefully next time we'll stick with the conversation. But let me say this the issue of sexual activities, I'd like to reiterate. Um, I'd encourage all of us to be open in our communications. It's okay for you to state what you want. And one person should not be the initiator of sexual activities because it can put a burden, stress, and sometimes it can destroy the relationship to some extent. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We appreciate that here. So we will go to Devin. Devin, you want to go ahead with your closing statement for tonight?
yes, I'll follow on what C said. Yeah, we did deviate of what our main topic was, and but I would say that this whole sexual intimacy, who's starting it or who's not starting it, get to know your partner, get to know what they like or what they do not like. Understand your partner. It's all about communicating with your partner and understanding them. The right would be a marriage, be a relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatsoever it is. Talk to your partner, get to know your partner. Like Mr. Native say, date your partner. African, we speaking of the people that on this panel, they're all African. Date your partner, get to know your partner. We're talking on our African community. Date your partner and get to know their true desire, not just men jumping or women jumping straight to sex and thinking sex is everything and anything. No, it's not. Sex is a very huge and very sexual spiritual thing. Get to know your partner before you jump into that situation. So that's my little thought.
So you say sex is a spiritual thing too?
It is
It's
Oh,
emotional. It's
emotional,
everything.
yeah.
spiritual.
Emotional,
I,
spiritual,
It
it's
is.
ask you a question.
psychological.
It's
I just
everything. Sex
yeah,
is everything.
it's a question I get asked. Yeah. I just wanted to know. Yeah. But and anyway, Devin, welcome back and thank you very much. And you always, are candid. speaker, and you always participate. Hopefully your friend Dagonti can join the panel, next time when we introduce another topic. But thank you. So let's hear from Nathan some closing statement.
It was, first of all, I do want to take this time to show my honor and gratitude to everybody who actually voiced their opinion here tonight. My statement, I do want to go back and say who is responsible to initiate sex in a relationship, a man or woman relationship. And that's what I'm speaking on. When I came up, the very first thing I said was, we are missing the very important part of a relationship, the dating period. Dating period is basically the time you actually get to know that person. Doesn't have to be sex. You don't have to go to lunch or dinner. It's just a time where you talk and get to know each other's likes, wants, and dislikes, and things like that. Now, in order for you to have a very successful relationship, in when we're talking about sexual relationship, things like that, you need to first be able to understand the person's mental operation, how the person work mentally. Then you got to step down to them, how they work emotionally, physically. What are things that turns them on? You have to take this time to get to know that person. And when you get to know that person, if you really do get to know that person, especially intellectually, or if you are able to penetrate their mind and understand them and be able to seduce their mind in a sexual way, then you are in a place where you know your partner, for you to be able to relate to them, because it's a relationship. So you guys, there are two people relating to each other. So in order for you to have a successful relationship, you have to get to know each other, know each other's likes and wants. And you also have to take a look at what's going on in your surrounding, what are happening. I'm not going to go out there, just piss my woman off, and then come home the other night and say I'm about to touch her and think she will be in for it. No. So if you know your woman, if you are in tune with her, communication, making sure you stay in tune, and when she's lacking, you should be able to speak up and have that forum where you and your woman can have that conversation. Hey, sweetheart, XYZ, I need more sex, I need this, I need that. You need to have that conversation, so that way you can because unless you guys understand each other, you don't know where you're going. You got to walk a person in their shoes. So when somebody's, let's say, feeling the pain, is sick or something like that, and you horny, you have to be able to understand that this is somebody who I love, and the person is going through something that is not pleasant. So I need to actually suppress my pleasure to sacrifice for my partner. So it all comes to dating and getting to know a person before you jump in a relationship. If you're not ready, tell the person the truth. Honesty is the best thing. Tell the person the truth. If you're not ready for a relationship, if you are, go ahead, let them know. But most our African, we just jump into a relationship without actually taking time off to actually get to know ourselves. That would be my closing statement. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate that here. Miss, I love you. Let's fire it up.
Boom. What's up, folks? You heard it live and direct. Relationship affair Wednesday night. Powerful topic here. Um, Luckily for us tonight, we had a full house. We appreciate all the turn up. Back to the question that is being discussed: who is to initiate sex within a relationship? I continue to stand with my point. Sexual activity in a home is both parties. Both parties is fully responsible to initiate sex, because the man can be horny one day, the next day the woman can be the one horny. So based on those factors, both parties have the right to initiate sex. If your partner is slow, the man or the woman slow, you don't have the ability to be throwing a bunch of sexual signal to them. Tell them straight up, whisper in their ear, say, look, the player, I think I'm ready for one. Let's get to the room. No time to waste. Now, I also want to say this. According to the drunk driving status in America, you are legally in America, you're allowed to drink and drive, but you cannot have beyond certain alcohol percentage within you. So, to say this, if a woman come over to your house and she haven't started drinking yet, your kid dog first 2, 3 rounds, and after that 2 or 3 rounds, she decide that she want to boost her energy up or whatever, and get more liquor involved. At the end of the day, it is what it is. If a woman demand you as a man that she's coming over to visit you, you guys gonna be having sex. She need to get her 1 or 2 bottles to help her feel better. That's fine. It's never a problem when a man want to drink Guinness before he go meet woman. It's never a problem. But every time when it comes to the women, it's a problem. Again, I respect this. Nobody should ever rape anybody. And please don't invite a woman over to your place and just feed her with alcohol when she's drunk, and then you try to take advantage. It's 2 different things. When a woman asks for alcohol and she already knows she's coming over for you to have sex, it's different. Lastly, to say, it's not hygienic. As a woman, you have 1 time in the month to clean yourself up. It is not hygienic. As a medical personnel, it's not hygienic to have sex on your period. If you want to do so, please make sure the man is using condom. If he's not using condom, it is not hygienic. There's a reason why you go through your cycle as a woman. It's that time for you to
You can
clean
stay in
yourself
the
up.
shower and get a shower
So
to run.
please,
The shower can be
I want
run.
to say thank you all so much. Native Son, nice having you on the show. I appreciate it.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Cher, for your time. We really appreciate that.
Yo, JD,
Yeah.
your next topic, make sure you get me on that flyer. I'm a correspondent. I gotta be there from beginning to end. No, if the woman want Bloody Mary, I give her Bloody Mary. My job is to provide what the woman want.
So our next topic next week will be should sexual duties be denied in a relationship or marriage? If yes, why? If no, why not? That will be our next discussion for next Wednesday. We are going full blast in February. Especially it's a Valentine, month. So we will talk about most of our topic in this month will center around sex and relationship, which is Wednesday is basically a relationship night. So our next topic will be should sexual duties be denied in a relationship or marriage? If yes, why? If no, why not? Thank you very much, Native Son, Mosey, and you guys came on, impromptu invitation, and you're still accepted my request. I really appreciate that. And Devin, we welcome you back. Thank you very much. We look forward to next week. CC Martin, DJ Finance, they joining us. I know they were busy tonight. And Vince Carter too. Thank you very much. So yeah, Nathan, I will send you the flyer way ahead of time. But thank you always. You always been a important person on my show, and you and I, we keep the city entertained, and we do our best, to put our city on the map. Mr. I Love You, I've always been a contributor from day one, and he is one of my official hosts, co-host.
I am back in the city though. I am back in the city.
Thank you.
For some time. And there's mega bomb. There's a missile that I'm about to drop.
Really?
Look, it's
what you say your other name again is what thing?
They call me Native Son, aka the King of Dubai.
No, there's something mega woman. What is it? The 3 alphabet.
Oh, the 3 things that make a woman beautiful.
No,
let's play the acronym.
Oh, it's MBG, Methuselah Big Woman 499. That's the limit. When you get to 500, you out of my reach.
400 what?
499. That's the number. If you get to 500, if you go 1 more pound, 500, you're done.
What is the mega bomb you're about to drop? Give us.
I will give you special invitation for that one. Like, you don't want to drop it. It's gonna be it's not even a mega bomb. It's a nuclear weapon.
Wow.
It's a bionuclear weapon that just and you hear that China sent balloon.
But I don't understand why America destroyed China balloon. They China getting mad.
I know. I don't see. China was having a birthday party and one balloon escaped out. Nobody's going to blow up.
Well, I think America let the fire war so much until they see the Poland balloon in the sky. They
Then the
say,
go show how can you
missile.
shoot a balloon with a missile? Like you can't just get in a floating balloon and just go next to it and shoot it with BB gun. You gotta use a whole missile.
I mean, their country let war balloon so much they see a little balloon they got scared.
Other
They
people, you know what the news people are thinking?
No.
They think say that balloon came with a bio weapon that's supposed to spread over.
They sent one of the B that warplane, you know, that heavy that's
They got a warplane and two war things that shot it down. Look at it. The
No,
warplane
but at the end of the day, it's better to take all that precaution than overlooking it and end up being something worse.
Now eat to my brother we next.
No. It was better to take all the precaution.
But anyway, guys, I love the sense of humor here, but I can't wait for Nathan Son to drop that nuclear weapon where we were.
That nuclear weapon that drop. You know where it coming from?
No.
You know my brother is a Russian billionaire. You know him.
Yeah.
It is being manufactured in Russia.
Are you getting married anytime soon? What's the deal?
That's not a weapon.
Nigga, you got a whole shit fucked up.
Because you gotta book me. You gotta book me ahead of time.
Do you know how many times I've been married?
You gotta book me ahead of time. If you're getting married, you gotta book me ahead of time.
Actually, you should be booked.
How many times you been married?
I've been married 2 times. You were there live. Why actually don't know? The first one played Juju and me. The other one we don't know. We'll pray to God to everything happy. When Mr. I love you. You know the fucked up thing.
Are you anticipating the third wedding or the third marriage?
No, actually, I don't think there has been a third marriage. There have been a third and a fourth. It was eloping. We are actually dropping a 5th bomb. That's why I say don't even try to steal my joy. This is a nuclear bomb. When I drop it, my piggy, the whole Des Moines, not just Des Moines, the entire Liberian community in the entire world, in the entire universe. I don't know if Liberia not sent anybody on the moon or in space, but anybody in space said was shit.
Okay.
If I need to start losing weight, you tell me so I can start losing weight.
Yeah, for me,
your umpire, when I hire you, that free. AJ, both of you, I hire you, you're free.
Okay.
Because let me tell you, as soon as I drive the bomb, you know what you do?
No.
First thing you want an interview with me, and I'll give it to you for free. And Mr. I love you, your umpire, I can't pay you for no shit, nigga. You already know.
Please use some euphemism on the show. Don't use clear.
No, this one. I actually talked to Kim Jong-un. He giving me one of his secret emails. No, this one is very mega.
Man, Kevin situation. Since you started with a new page, your background seems very fancy. Are you living in the middle of that house? What I mean, is it a green screen or is that just the background of your resident?
On live entertainment.
This one?
Yes.
Go down my resident. Let me show it to you.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That go upstairs to your room now.
You're out of the picture.
You see, my baby, don't be fool. The picture show you the living room, but it's not showing you no kitchen, no room with pan butter in it. Go in the kitchen and show me the pan butter so your woman I cook today.
Yeah, I will, but right now it's late. I don't want them to, I don't want to take a tour. The kids are sleeping.
But I see keyboard in the background, so you know how to play the keyboard too?
My daughter is a pianist.
Oh, your daughter is a pianist.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You are bloviating. We don't bloviate on current situation. What happened to you? But you are, we know.
I'm not bloviating, man.
But I let you know, I'm coming there for dinner tomorrow. You already know that the main house. I've been there before I even played that piano one time. I know it.
Thank you. My man, thank you very much, Nathan. I will catch you next week, but I will call you tomorrow. We'll discuss, okay?
No, I definitely will give you. You have the inside scoop, and it's gonna be a bomb that, like I'm telling you, you will be the number 1 person all on the team. I'm telling you, I'm not gonna hire you. I'm just gonna give you this, like, you know what a scoop is, right? Before everybody else know, I will sell the inside scoop to current situation so you can voice. I can voice it on my own page, you know that, and it will blow.
Yeah.
But rather you do it, and then I can give you an interview on certain things. The Lord is my shepherd. He knows what I want.
Thank you, brother.
You have a good night.
You too. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much here for tuning in here. We appreciate that. We will see you guys tomorrow. We'll be introducing our national politics every Thursday, but we will send the flyer, put the flyer up tomorrow. Yeah, but thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Get used to the new page. We are not backing down here. We're gonna push it. You know, it was a 2.5 hour discussion. Some people will, come and watch the show later. But like I said, get used to the new page. You know, spread the word. Current Citizen Media. This is where we'll do our live streaming. Thanks to Mr. I Love You. Thanks to Devin. Thanks to Mosey and Netherson. We appreciate it. Thanks to all our viewers that tune in and our viewers that will come and watch the show later on, at their convenience. So, yeah. So let not your hearts be troubled, and see you guys tomorrow. And God blessings as always. And Frenchmen say, bonne nuit.